If humans suddenly disappeared, how will the Earth change? The moment after humans disappeared, runaway cars collide with each other. There was smoke everywhere on the road. The city suddenly became quiet. The air is getting cooler because of the heat emitted by the human body. That's 100-watt light bulbs. 60 seconds after humans disappear, thousands of planes are preparing to land at the airport. But because no one controls, every time you land, there's a disaster. There are still thousands of planes piloting themselves in the sky. Of course, when it runs out, all the planes will crash in sequence. 10 minutes after humans disappear, although there is no human control, many machines are still running. Tens of thousands of power stations are still generating electricity nonstop, but since no one added coal, thermal power stations will be the first to stop generating electricity. Power outages begin in the affected areas. The bright lights in the city will lose their luster forever. After 70 minutes of human disappearance, wind power stations and hydropower stations are also unmanned. Automatically shut down the system. 95 minutes after humans disappeared, global blackout spree hits nuclear power plants. System detects abnormal power grid function. Automatically shut down the reactor. 6 hours after humans disappeared, the last wholesale power station stopped working. The night in Europe is dark. Pets all over the world are starving. Zoo meat makes animals restless. Natural gas equipment also had problems. No more cooling holes. Natural gas is heating up. Massive explosive gas leakage. Spread to idle cars on the side of the road. Some cars haven't turned off yet. Sparking a fire that could last for days. 3 days after humans disappeared, most of the machines stopped working. Tens of thousands of tons of toxic chemicals leaked from factories. 8 clocks gradually stopped beating. The history of mankind is in the past, but life on Earth continues. The pets in the house are becoming increasingly desperate. If you can't escape, they're trapped. For days after humans disappeared, escaped pet dog. I have to go around looking for trash for a living. Livestock on farms are also at risk. Although there are no humans, hundreds of thousands of cattle are killed every day. But due to a power outage, their water supply is running out. The zoo's power grid is down. Big animals have a new outlet. Most small animals die in cages. Elephants need to find enough food in the zoo. It's not easy. And the lion. Other fleeing animals were targeted. But this is not a grassland after all. Lions can only find other prey. After 7 days of human disappearance, the nuclear power plant's backup power supply has run out of fuel. The cooling water for storing nuclear waste stops flowing. The temperature gradually rises. Wait for the water to boil and evaporate. It is impossible to avoid the leakage of radioactive materials. 10 days after humans disappeared, dogs flocked to the countryside to feed. They found many dead cows. The hungry dog can no longer afford to be picky about food, compared to cows raised in captivity. Free-range cattle, chickens, and ducks survived. The city became eerily quiet. The animals that escaped from the zoo run free. In addition to the competition of the jungle, there is still a huge disaster waiting for them. After 15 days of human disappearance, uncooled nuclear waste swallows fire. equivalent to 200 atomic bombs. Radiation from nuclear energy, ejected from the nuclear power plant. Some radiation hazards can last 240,000 years. The nearby trees died in the first place. Radioactive material is attached to trees. Destroy leaf green quality, make the leaves turn red. Such disasters continue to rebuild all over the world. Invisible radioactive poison spreads with the wind. It can reach thousands of square kilometers. Rise in just a few weeks. Massive radioactive fumes could sweep across the northern hemisphere as the rain initializes to the ground. Large animals have fled these areas, but small animals are mostly not spared. In the Silent City, animals have invaded a once human world. Although the radiation cloud is still spreading outside, but the food that humans leave behind, enough for them to live on temporarily. 3 months after humans disappeared, no one continues to pollute. The air is getting cleaner. Visibility is greatly improved. Free pet dogs foraging for food in the suburbs. But they don't have enough hunting skills. Did not judge the gap in strength. No more humans. Elephants have no predators. But there is one big challenge. Appear in front of them. 6 months after humans disappeared, as winter approaches, human houses have become sanctuaries for animals. Squirrel lives upstairs. Smelly Youth, who likes underground, hibernates on the ground on the first floor. But African elephants can't handle ice and snow. Hope for survival, only all the way south. 10 months after humans disappeared, the earth has ushered in its first quiet spring. Why trees affected by radiation fail to grow young leaves? But far from the nuclear power plant, rain washes away the radiation left on the leaves. No more cars, no more poaching. The reproduction of animals has never been more prosperous. Humans have. Large amounts of carbon dioxide are emitted into the atmosphere, but starting this spring, plants have more room to grow. Millions of kilometers of roads have been reclaimed by nature. The first is lichens growing in crevices. 5 years later, the moss creates an environment for the grass to grow. 10 years later, the football field is overgrown with weeds. After 15 years, the trees in the courtyard are getting bigger and bigger. More and more lush plants continue to clean up excess carbon dioxide. With the efforts of nature, humans' control of the land is gradually disappearing. After 30 years of human disappearance, only the stars and the moon are shining in the night sky. I can no longer see the lights that stay up all night. Occasionally, a few meteors fall to the ground. These are no ordinary meteorites. It's a product of human technology. Without human manipulation, gradually deorbit, turned into a shining meteor. And on the ground, human dwellings are slowly collapsing. Dust and seeds are blown into the house by the wind. Rain falls into the room. The wood gradually decays. In just 30 years, the wonders of nature work wonders. The hurricane blew down houses along the coastline. A ship docked by the sea. Many more sank to the bottom of the sea. Become a new home for marine life. Except for the absence of the roar of planes and cars. The city is alive and well. Trees take root on the balcony. Large swaths of green cover the citadels of human civilization. The streets are littered with shards of glass. High-rise buildings become real jungles. 60 years after humans disappeared, The remains of humanity are slowly falling apart. It's rusty everywhere. Plastic products cannot be decomposed by microorganisms. Keeps its original color under the cover of weeds. But nature has a way. Lightning sparked wildfires, burning plastic to ashes. When it rains lightly, rainwater mixed with carbon dioxide in the air, slowly corroding the concrete. Birds return to their new homes. It's a dilapidated landscape. The paint on the walls has gradually come off. Rain seeps down the crevices into the interior. The steel starts to rust and expand. Cracks are spreading around the world. But no human repair. Concrete collapses 100 years after humans disappeared. Cities used to be the center of the human world. After a century of storms, it's finally time to dissipate. After 120 years of human disappearance, many skyscrapers have been reduced to rubble. The original asphalt pavement was covered with grass and trees. Add to that the ebb and flow of the ocean. Carried away a lot of carbon dioxide. Global warming is finally over. The cicada breathes a fresh air that it has never felt before. Chi is not aware of the wolf. The swarm has lurked to the end. After 150 years of human disappearance, the tide in London rolled up the boat and blocked it under the bridge. They created a dam. The Thames flooded its banks. London has become a swamp again. And on the other side of the world in Las Vegas, cities are built in the heart of the desert. There was no water pump. The desert is eating away at humanity. 200 years after disappearing, countless cities return to nature. But some rivers are bound by concrete buildings. Large dam bodies can even be preserved. Hundreds of years. But these monumental buildings are also in danger. High in the mountains in the north, due to the drop in global temperatures, increased snowfall in winter, when the snow melts, huge amounts of snow pour into rivers, formed a flood. The flood rushed towards the dam. After 2 centuries of rust history, the gate on the dam that controls the spillway has long been damaged. The current broke through the passage deep in the dam. The dam is finally overwhelmed. Tens of billions of cubic meters of torrent swimming down. The 60-meter-high torrent is all the way. Destroy all facilities along the way. Large areas of swamp have resurfaced. Nature is reshaping the entire natural world around the world. And the oceans are no exception. No more trawling. Many fish on fishing boats live longer. They got bigger. As humans become even earlier in the past, whales are experiencing a population resurgence. Before oil was widely exploited, whales are decimated. Essential oil obtained, although the hunting of whales later decreased. But there's a bigger problem. Ship engine noise can travel thousands of kilometers underwater. This noise pollution makes whales sick. Spouses become extremely difficult when this noise dies down. Whale fish courtship calls can travel over 6,000 kilometers. After 230 years of human disappearance, most cities have been swallowed up. But there are also some skills. Prove the brilliance that mankind has had. The Great Wall can still continue to exist. But those modern surface buildings, it has come to an end. The rain gradually washed away the paint on the Eiffel Tower. A gust of wind blows gently. The rusty tower cannot bear the burden. The Eiffel Tower collapsed. On the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, the Muse of Liberty met the same fate. His arm broke first, exposing the rusted iron skeleton inside. Then the head. As time goes by, the entire bronze statue will be worn out. The traces of human existence are fading away. Over 200 years. Fallen leaves form new soil. Cover up all that humanity has left behind. Just in the woods, occasionally you can see some plastic that hasn't been burned. A cell phone that rarely receives sunlight. A humble stainless steel wash basin. Humans will laugh for 1,000 years. There's not much steel left of the Eiffel Tower. Some stone buildings are also telling the story of the remnants of humanity. But it will all fade away. After 25,000 years of human disappearance, the Earth is gradually moving away from the sun, entering the Ice Age again. Snow and ice are spreading towards the south, swallowing all traces of humanity. But the human traces have not been completely erased. On the distant moon, the last remaining memories of humanity will last for millions of years. But this has nothing to do with the Earth anymore. Earth was born 4.50 billion years ago. Human civilization is just a flash in the pan. Humans have been working on the Earth for tens of thousands of years. Nature is just a short. Time clears up all traces. So the planet would be better off without humans. But without the Earth, humanity is doomed to extinction. Protect the natural ecology. How will you help to make our world a better place?